Wow. It's probably an OEO. Aloha guys, Scuba Chris here, and I would like to talk about the original Rockaway. There's 2 Rockaway reels right now. I just got the second one the other week. This is the original. Now, a couple years ago at a show here in Hawaii, we had a beautiful show that most of the major manufacturers were there. People from Daiwa, Shimano, no, I'm sorry, not Daiwa this time, Shimano, Okuma, Penn, Izua Brothers. Quite a few people showed up at the show. That was just before COVID. So the developer from Okuma, John Bretzler, gave me a white box, and I asked, what is this? He goes, oh, I'm sorry. And he writes on it, RA 6000. I'm still looking. Oh, what is this? He said, this is the new Rockaway spinner. It's one of the prototypes. Let's see if you can destroy this or figure out what to do with it. Okay, so there I was given my reel, and I had to do something. You know, I didn't have stats. There was no paperwork. It was just RA 6000 he hand wrote on the box. So, but I had to figure things out. Not everything. I had to kind of call and figure. I had to ask him, what's this, what's that. But it's a RA 6000. It has 4+1 bearings, 4 ball bearings, 1 roller bearing. Alrighty. The gear ratio is 5.3 to 1. That means for every 1 complete turn, you get 5.3 rotations, and this matches up with the current model. This here's the current model that just came out for this year. This is RA 8000. It is the big brother to the 6000. All right. So that was long in coming because they really needed to have a bigger one. But getting back to the 6000 here, this one here was rated for 400 yards of 50-pound braid. Line retrieve was 40.9 inches per turn. Max drag on this one was 26 pounds. The weight was 17 ounces. If you look at the current MSRP, it's a very fairly priced reel at less than $100 US. And that's currently now, even when it was released now, it's less than 100, which is kind of nice. And with everything going up nowadays, this one kind of held its price. So what I was doing with this reel, I was plugging with it. I was surf casting with it. I have quite a few pictures of it showing everything throughout the years, from OEO, which is bonefish, to papillo, which is jacks, with this reel. All right. So if you look at my earlier videos, I said prototype rod and reel used together. No names because I wasn't allowed to give the name back then. So I matched this up with what was known as the Shoreline Plugger, a new prototype rod from Okuma. But it was actually developed by somebody who works with Okuma. And on the second day going out, I went to a harbor, a deep draft harbor, and in deep water, right up to the edge of the shoreline. At first light, I hit a huge ulua, a GT, brought it in. I was really happy, took pictures. The videos came up fine. I threw the fish back. I called, I said, hey, this is what I did today. And I said, but you know what, the stats and the information you're giving me is not matching up to the rod you sent. So they got in touch with the person who had the idea for the rod, found out that it wasn't made according to specs. So I was told the first and only time in my life, I have to get rid of that video. I have to get rid of the pictures. And luckily, you know, I didn't keep the fish. So it's kind of a heartbreaker. But since then, the rod's been redone. It's called the Shoreline Plugger. I'm going to put a picture of the Shoreline Plugger into this, what it's supposed to look now, not what it did before. Watch this. And you know, it wasn't a really heavy duty rod. It was a rod that was specifically made for this reel here. Matched up beautifully. As you can see, throughout the years, I've done very well with kudas, with bonefish. In fact, I got a nice 8-9 pound bonefish with it, which was a good battle. I thought I was going to lose my rod and reel because I was sitting in my chair. Next thing, fatoom, the thing just hit the bottom, and when I got up, the thing just took off. But luckily, the rod got caught in some bushes, and I saved that. But you can go online on the Okuma website, and you can still find that rod. It's not called the Hawaiian Shoreline Plugger anymore, which was supposed to be the name. It is a Hawaiian custom rod. It's under a Hawaiian custom rod. It's a HSP-S-962MA. Long, right? But you just go under Hawaiian custom rods, and it's going to be under 9'6". I think there's only going to be one 9'6". Okay, on that one, the foregrip is going to be 5.5 inch foregrip on the top part. Braid is rated for 30 to 65 pounds. The lure weight is 30 to 160 grams. Guides is pretty good on it. It was for 9'6". It had 8+1 guides, which is good. It came in 2 pieces. The rear grip 20 inches, which is good for, you know, medium plugging, and it was rated for medium. The power rating is rated for medium, and the rod taper I think was moderate to moderate fast, and the weight was 11.3 ounces. So it was a really good rod. A bunch of it did make it to Tokunaga's store over in the Big Island, but after the first initial run, it was changed to the original design that the person originally wanted. So both the original, which I still have, and the new one are good rods. There's nothing wrong with it, but that was the quick history behind it. So the second part of this is, what do I recommend for a rod? Now, you know, I'm with Okuma. I use Okuma. I can use whatever I want, but I like Okuma. Use what you want to use. I can recommend, if you want to go Okuma, I would recommend something. But look at the stats that I'm going to give you. The stats is going to give it away. Okay, so for this reel here, for the 6,000, if I was to match it up with at least 2 rods, because this is what I use, super lightweight. This one here. This is the Rockaway HD. HD means for heavy duty, but it's not a heavy rod, which is nice. The weight on this is very light. Besides the fact that it's light, this is 30-70 split. So 30% is going to be at the bottom, 70% at the top. For a 2-piecer, I like these type of splits because to me it's better than the 50-50s. 50-50s are good for storage, but you get this kind of configuration where the meat and the potatoes is in the butt with the longer whipping half. To me, this will give you more casting power. So for this one here, lure weight is 2 to 6, which is kind of like what the Shoreline Plugger was, 2 to 6 ounces. The recommended line is 12 to 25. Guide 6+1, meaning 6 guides plus the 1 tip. Okay, overall length 9'6", which is, I find it's a very good length for casting far. Okay, I would say that the taper here, it was medium fast to fast, if I remember correct on the taper. 10.4 ounces of weight, so it's a fairly light rod. And what I like about this, really like about this, anytime when you go plugging, double locks. Look at that. Usually when you get a reel that, a rod that has double locking system, you usually pay extra for it. I don't see that here. If you want to look this up, this is RHD-S-962 MH. MH is for medium heavy, if you want to look it up online. Now for this big boy here, what would I recommend Okuma wise? I mean, there's a lot of stuff with Penn and Shimano out there, and if you already have something, that's great. I would suggest something that's from 8 to 11 feet for this bigger one, medium heavy, maybe heavy. You just have to look at the ratings, and you should know your own equipment. You should be able to figure out if this is correct or not. But I've already matched this up, and I found the first thing I matched it up with worked really well. This rod here, some of you might recognize at the Blaisdell Center when they had the Ocean Expo. Brian Kimata, Brian's Fishing Supply, came by, and the vice president of Okuma was there at the time, and they gave him the final rods that he designed for Okuma. He's a smart guy. He has designed rods from everybody from Shimano to Penn, and he designed this rod for Okuma. All right, this is the Hawaiian Custom Popping Rod, 2 sections, 70-30 split. All right, 2 sizes, medium, heavy, and heavy. So both of them are the same size. It's going to be 8 feet 3 inches. This is the medium heavy, and I like the medium heavy. The number for this one is HWP-S-832MHA. That is just the number designation. Okay, foregrip right here, 6.5 inches. Line weight 30 to 65 pounds. The lure rating is 30 to 160 grams. This has 8+1, which means 8 guide plus the tip. 2 sections, like I said, 70-30 split. All right. The rear grip is 18 inches. So, you got your split grip here, but from here to here, that's 18 inches. So, in the other one was 20 inches. 18-20 are a good rear lengths. Total length of this one here, the medium heavy with the heavy, is 8 feet 3 inches. The power rating of this is medium heavy. The other one is a heavy, and the weight on this one is 13.5 ounces. When Okuma made these, it was specifically to what Brian suggested, and he did it. Oh, I tell you, it's been a popular seller, not only here in the islands, but all around the world. Everybody that is a popular plugger, jigger, love this combination. Brian Kimata, you did a very good job in this. I'm just so pleased to say, at least I know who this guy is, because I really look up to you. You did a good job on this. And what's good about this rod, like I said, it's lightweight, but I can even use my 6,000 on it. But I must admit, the 8,000 feels better. It's a better balance, better feel with the 8,000 on this one. Now this, like it says, medium heavy. You can go up to heavy, but I like the medium heavy. And it's kind of strange. The reason I'm saying that is because Okuma was supposed to send me a couple of these. Well, they sent me a couple of this one, the medium heavy, but none of the heavies. So I have no idea if the heavy is going to be too heavy for certain type of lures or reels. So I figured, what, that I can imagine what the heavy is going to be like, because this already feels like a heavy, even though it's rated medium heavy. And I don't want to go and ask for another couple more, because they might send me more medium heavies. Because when they sent me this, I asked, oh, where's the heavy? They sent me more of these again. So I got only one that I'm using here, and the others I put into storage because I don't know what to do with them. So there you go, guys. Thanks a lot. And that's my review of what rods I would use with my 6,000 and 8,000 rocks. Thank you.
That's something small. I was throwing some bait back into the water here, and something hit it. Okay, tighten up just a little. From here, it looks like a papille. Yep, looks like a papille. Crank up on the drag. And bring it up. And there we go. That was easy.